Christine Brown's story has been part of Sister Wives for years. However, she has recently opened up about what may have happened behind the scenes with a new book. In particular, she recently addressed what really happened concerning the Brown family's Flagstaff move. Christine Brown's Sister Wife memoir came out in early September 2025. On the TLC series Sister Wives, viewers were introduced to the polygamist Brown family. This includes Kody Brown, his current wife Robyn, and his ex-wives Mari, Janelle, and Christine, as well as their extended family. Christine was married to Kody from 1994 to 2021. The two share 6 children together, as well as 3 grandchildren. In 2023, she later married David Woolley. Recently, Christine made headlines with the release of her new memoir, Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom. With the book, which came out on September 2, she shared her side of the story over various events seen on the TLC show. In particular, Christine recently addressed the reason she believes Kody pushed the family to move from Las Vegas to Flagstaff in 2017. At the time, Christine, as well as Mari, Janelle, and Robyn were expected to make the move alongside their children. In the book, Christine recalled, "One day, out of nowhere, Kody sat us all down and explained that we needed to leave Vegas, saying it would be safer and better for us financially. He presented a plan, but said we could pick where we ended up. As it turned out, even the picking of the place had been preordained." At the time, Christine took issue with the move, worried she was taking her kids away from their friends or their schools. However, she decided it would be best to go along with the move for the family's sake. She shared, "I couldn't split up the family. I believe this was my kids' best chance to have a good relationship with their dad." Another issue impacted the Sister Wives family following the Flagstaff move. Upon going to Las Vegas, Christine felt Kody might have had an ulterior motive. She shared, "About a month after we moved in 2018, we learned that Dayton, Robyn and Kody's son, had been accepted to the university in Flagstaff." Christine was especially upset over the idea, since the move meant leaving her adult children Aspen and Mykelti. She shared, "I was furious. Was that why we moved? So Robyn could be closer to her son while I was pulled farther from my children?" As noted by People, this wasn't the only issue impacting the family following the move. They also had to deal with paying off Coyote Pass, the property in which they would build the family compound. Initially, each of the wives was meant to build a separate home on the compound. However, both personal and financial issues unraveled this plan, with the property being sold earlier this year. What do you think about Christine Brown's recent share? Have you read her memoir? Are you keeping up with Sister Wives? Make sure you come back to TV Shows Ace for all the latest reality TV and celebrity news. Christine Brown exposes Kody and Robyn in an explosive new book, shocking details revealed. For years, fans of Sister Wives have wondered what really went on behind the scenes of the Brown family's dramatic unraveling. We saw arguments play out on camera, tears spilled in confessionals, and children pulled into conflicts they never asked for. But even the most loyal viewers knew there were pieces missing, secrets edited out, truths left unsaid. Now, Christine Brown has finally broken her silence in a shocking new book that doesn't hold back. In these pages, she exposes the real dynamics between Kody, Robyn, and the rest of the family, dropping bombshell after bombshell that leaves fans stunned. This isn't just a memoir, it's a reckoning. Why Christine wrote the book. Christine's decision to write her tell-all didn't come lightly. After leaving Kody in 2021, she dedicated herself to rediscovering happiness, independence, and self-worth. She moved to Utah, rebuilt her life, and eventually found love again with David Woolley. But there was always one question haunting her. What about the truth? For years, Christine had bitten her tongue, allowing Kody and Robyn to spin narratives that painted her as the difficult wife, the one who couldn't handle polygamy. But in her book, Christine insists that silence was never the same as agreement. I kept quiet to protect my children. I kept quiet to keep peace. But my silence was used against me. It's time the world knows what really happened. Chapter 1. The favoritism no one could ignore. From the very beginning, Christine claims Robyn was treated differently. While the public narrative focused on Christine struggling with jealousy, she says the truth was far more painful. According to Christine, Kody's obsession with Robyn wasn't just love, it was about power. Kody would tell the rest of us to sacrifice for the family, but when it came to Robyn, sacrifice wasn't required. She was always the exception, she writes. She describes moments when Kody canceled time with her children to run errands with Robyn, skipped family dinners to spend evenings at Robyn's house, and even let Robyn override group decisions with a single complaint. Robyn wasn't just a wife, she was the gatekeeper of Kody's attention. Chapter 2. The Money Trail. One of the most explosive parts of Christine's book is her claim about finances. Fans long suspected that Kody and Robyn's household benefited disproportionately from family funds, but Christine says it was worse than anyone knew. She describes sitting in tense financial meetings where Kody insisted everyone contribute equally, only to watch resources funnel toward Robyn's wants and needs. While some of us worried about mortgages or kids' tuition, Kody was signing papers for Robyn's newest project. Her kids got privileges ours didn't. And whenever we raised concerns, we were told we were being unfair to her. Christine admits she stayed quiet for too long, fearing backlash, but says the imbalance was one of the biggest cracks in the family foundation. Chapter 3. Emotional Manipulation. Christine's book also sheds light on the emotional tactics she claims Kody and Robyn used to maintain control. She recalls one incident where Kody allegedly threatened to withdraw affection if Christine didn't publicly support his decisions. Another time, she says Robyn confronted her privately, warning her that speaking out would only make Kody resent her more. I lived in fear of punishment, she writes. Not physical punishment, but emotional exile. If you weren't in Kody's good graces, you were invisible. According to Christine, this system of fear kept wives competing for favor instead of standing together. Chapter 4. The Kids Speak. Christine reveals that her kids weren't blind to the favoritism either. My kids would come to me crying, asking why their dad didn't show up to their events but made time for Robyn's kids. I had no answers. All I could do was hold them and remind them they were loved. One of the hardest passages describes a family gathering where Kody allegedly spent the entire evening with Robyn's kids while barely acknowledging the others. Christine says her daughter truly asked, "Does Dad even know I'm here?" A question that broke her heart. This wasn't about jealousy between wives anymore. It was about children growing up feeling second class in their own family. Chapter 5. The Breaking Point. Christine doesn't hold back about the moment she decided enough was enough. It wasn't a single fight or a dramatic showdown, but rather years of silent suffering building to a tipping point. The day I realized my children were happier without Kody's neglect was the day I knew it was over. I couldn't keep teaching them that love meant begging for scraps of attention. That realization led to the decision to leave, a decision that shocked Kody, infuriated Robyn, and forever altered the Brown family dynamic. Chapter 6. The Fallout. Christine's departure didn't just change her life, it reshaped the entire Sister Wives universe. According to her book, Kody became obsessed with controlling the public narrative after she left. She says Robyn, too, worked behind the scenes to ensure Christine's reputation took a hit. She couldn't accept that I walked away on my own terms, so they painted me as bitter, jealous, and ungrateful. But the truth is, I walked away to survive. Chapter 7. Reclaiming Her Voice. The most powerful part of Christine's book isn't the exposure of Kody and Robyn's alleged favoritism, manipulation, or financial control. It's her reclaiming her own voice. For decades, Christine was the wife who laughed the loudest, who smiled through tears, who played the role of peacemaker. But now, in her book, she finally gets to be something else. Honest. "I'm not bitter," she insists. "I'm free. And telling the truth isn't about revenge, it's about healing." Fans react. The fan base is already in meltdown over Christine's revelations. Social media is filled with reactions like, "We knew there was favoritism, but this confirms everything." Christine is the hero of Sister Wives. She deserves peace. Kody and Robyn's empire is crumbling, and Christine just lit the match. Some speculate that Christine's book could spell the end of Sister Wives as we know it, while others believe it could launch a spin-off focused entirely on her new life. The bigger picture, Christine's book isn't just about exposing Kody and Robyn, it's about showing fans what it took to reclaim her dignity after years of being silenced. By sharing her story, she's offering hope to anyone who has ever felt invisible in their own family, anyone who has ever been told to stay quiet to keep the peace, and anyone who has ever wondered if freedom was possible. Her message is clear. It is never too late to choose yourself. Epilogue. Christine's new chapter. Today, Christine is happily remarried, building a blended family with David Woolley and focusing on a future free from the chains of polygamy. Her book doesn't end with bitterness. It ends with gratitude. Gratitude for her children, for her courage, and even for the painful journey that led her to where she is now. "I don't regret leaving," she writes in the closing chapter. "I regret not leaving sooner. But everything happens in its time. And now it's my time to live fully and honestly." Christine Brown's explosive book has pulled back the curtain on one of reality TV's most complicated families. And while Kody and Robyn may scramble to defend themselves, one thing is certain. The truth is finally out. And Christine isn't backing down. Shocking details revealed inside the explosive secrets of Christine Brown's tell-all. The Brown family has never been short on drama. For years, fans of Sister Wives watched the dynamics of plural marriage unfold, sometimes messy, sometimes heartwarming, but always riveting. But what Christine Brown has just revealed in her explosive new tell-all has left even the most loyal fans stunned. For the first time, Christine pulls back the curtain on the secrets, betrayals, and emotional battles that defined her 3 decades with Kody Brown. And the details? Nothing short of jaw-dropping. This isn't just another celebrity memoir. This is the book that rewrites the Brown family legacy. Why Christine spoke out. Christine opens her book with a confession. She never intended to write it. For years, after leaving Kody, she thought she could move on quietly, let the past fade, and build a new life in peace. But the public narratives swirling around her, many fueled by Kody and Robyn, forced her hand. She writes, "I was tired of people telling my story for me. It was time I told it myself. Messy, raw, and true. A marriage of promises and broken ones." From the outside, Christine and Kody's marriage looked like part of a grand experiment in love and faith, but according to her book, the cracks appeared almost immediately. She claims Kody promised equality, fairness, and shared devotion, but what he delivered was favoritism, control, and neglect. She recalls one heartbreaking moment early in their marriage when she confronted Kody about spending more time with another wife. His response, she says, was chilling. "If you want more of me, you'll just have to earn it." Christine describes feeling as though she was in a competition she never signed up for, one she could never win. The rise of Robyn. Perhaps the most shocking part of Christine's book centers on Robyn, the 4th wife who entered the family in 2010. Fans saw Christine struggle with jealousy on screen, but she insists what viewers didn't see was far more damaging. Unlike most of the other wives, Robyn wasn't just another wife. She was the wife, she reveals. From the moment she joined, everything shifted. The rest of us became supporting characters in a story where she was always the lead. Christine alleges that Kody gave Robyn privileges none of the other wives received: larger financial allowances, more one-on-one time, and even a stronger voice in family decisions. She had the final word, even when it came to children who weren't hers, she claims. The Money Secrets. One of the book's biggest bombshells is about finances. Fans have long speculated that family money disproportionately supported Robyn's household, and Christine confirms those suspicions. She writes about family meetings where wives were told to tighten their belts while Robyn's expenses quietly ballooned. There were times I didn't know how I'd pay for a child's tuition, while Kody was signing off on purchases for Robyn's projects, Christine reveals. When she questioned it, she says Kody accused her of being selfish and unsupportive of the bigger picture. The emotional toll. Christine doesn't shy away from the emotional damage of years in what she now describes as a lopsided marriage. I spent nights crying alone while he was across town. I told myself I was strong enough to handle it, but the truth is, I was breaking. She describes Kody's affection as conditional, offered only when she was compliant, and withdrawn whenever she voiced unhappiness. It was like living on shifting sand. You never knew when the ground would disappear beneath you. The children's pain. Perhaps the most heartbreaking revelations involve the children. Christine writes about moments when her kids felt the sting of favoritism firsthand. My children would ask why Dad didn't come to our events, but always seemed to make time for Robyn's kids. What could I say? The truth was too painful. One particularly emotional chapter describes her daughter asking, "Does Dad even love us the same way he loves them?" Christine admits she had no answer. The breaking point. The book builds toward the moment Christine finally decided to leave, and it wasn't one dramatic fight, but years of accumulated hurt. She writes, "The day I realized my children were happier without Kody's neglect was the day I knew it was over." Leaving wasn't easy. Christine describes nights of panic, fearing financial ruin, backlash from fans, and emotional retaliation from Kody. But in the end, the desire to show her children what real love and self-respect looked like outweighed the fear. The fallout. Christine doesn't hold back about what happened after she left. She says Kody tried to spin the story, painting me as ungrateful and bitter. Robyn played the victim, but I knew the truth, and so did my kids. She recalls being flooded with messages from fans, some supportive, others cruel. Through it all, Christine says she leaned on her children, her faith, and eventually her new partner, David Woolley. Life after Kody. The most uplifting parts of the book detail Christine's new life. She describes the joy of buying her own home in Utah, of cooking meals in a kitchen where laughter replaced tension, and of road trips filled with music and freedom. And then, of course, she writes about David. "David loved me in a way I never thought possible. With him, I was never invisible. I was always enough." Christine says that meeting David wasn't just about finding love again, it was about healing. Why now? So why reveal these shocking details now? Christine's answer is simple. Because truth heals. Because my children deserve to know the story, not the spin. Because women everywhere need to see that leaving isn't failure, it's freedom. Fan reactions. Fans have already flooded social media with their thoughts on the book. This confirms everything we suspected about Kody and Robyn. Christine is a hero for speaking her truth. "I cried reading about the kids. They deserved so much better." Some speculate that Christine's book could bring an end to Sister Wives as viewers know it. Others believe it may just be the beginning of a new chapter, one where the real stories are finally told. A new legacy. Christine ends her book with a message of hope. I don't regret leaving. I regret not leaving sooner. But now I'm free, and my children are free. And that's the legacy I choose to leave behind. Her shocking revelations may have shaken the foundation of the Brown family, but for Christine, the truth has finally set her free. The aftershock. In the wake of the book's release, speculation swirls about how Kody and Robyn will respond. Will they issue a statement? Will TLC address the claims? Or will silence be their only defense? Whatever happens next, one thing is certain. Christine's words have already changed the narrative forever. She is no longer the wife in the background, the one dismissed as jealous or difficult. She is the woman who walked away, spoke her truth, and refused to let silence define her story. And that is the most shocking detail of all.